Hawkman issue 13, Robert Venditti writing with Will Conrad on the art. So you two read this. By all means, take it away.
Yeah, this is fantastic. Just gonna put that out
This
there.
should have. It's good, but it should have been an annual. Like, this is a story that should have been in an annual. Like,
I mean, I get that, but this is the issue
know.
between arcs, so I'm fine with it in that context.
right.
That said, I would happily enjoy like an arc of like 6 issues of these stories. I'd be down for that. Because what we have here is he goes into his museum on his ship and he pulls out one of his diaries of a past life and starts working through it and trying to because he's forgotten the story himself, so he's like,
Right.
well, I'll have some rediscovery. And he's on this story. He's on a planet that is a constant war. There, it starts with year 498 of this Hegrian Malanite war.
Yeah.
And he's a soldier called what is he? Qatar.
Yeah. CTARR.
Yeah.
All the different ways you can get Carter out of it.
Yeah, pretty much. And so this is the earliest point in the timeline for that we've seen this war. But like I say, it's almost 500 years in already. No one remembers why it started.
Right.
Their ancestors came here and they've just been fighting ever since.
Yeah.
And so we spend some time on this side. We're with the Hegrees, I think we're with on this side first. And the sergeant's like, right, come on, it's time. Let's go charge out. Out. They get up out the trench and they charge over, and they get massacred.
Yep. That's complete. And then it switches to the Malanite side.
Yeah, we're about 20 odd years later.
Yep.
And
he's reborn.
And we've got him. He's Ketar this time. Ketar.
Yeah.
And he's kind of having the same conversation with his buddy, essentially going, "Hey, sense of deja vu," complaining about it's the drink in this case instead of the food.
Right. It's like a protein drink instead of a protein bar.
Yeah, they call it just sludge, but it's essentially the same conversation.
Yeah, and they can't. They don't even remember why this war started, but they have to fight them, and
Yeah, and then the sergeant's like, "Come on, time to charge," and off they go. And they get massacred, and then we get we get a sequence of this going on for like 500
back and
years.
forth. Yep, until finally, the Hagree side, he's just like, you know what? I've had enough of eating this stuff, and what it reminded me of is you hear the story of the Christmas truce,
the football game.
Yeah, was that World War I? It had to be because of the trenches.
Yeah, I think that was. I think that was one.
But basically, the sides have a ceasefire during the holidays, and they celebrate with each other.
Yeah.
And here he goes out and presents the bar to the Malanite side as almost like not exactly a peace offering, but a truce offering for the moment.
Yeah.
And he gets down.
Shaira.
A redheaded. She gets yelled at, and she brings out her sludge.
Yeah,
and they exchange.
They trade, and they're like, they're both shite, but at least they're different.
Yep, and then he ends up on this planet, and he gets there, and there's a monument to this moment.
Yeah, it was the idea that after this they went back to their home planets. They just stayed here and stayed together, and
Well, and they became one.
They became a new
own
planet. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And and it was war didn't make this world, peace did, and it's a fantastically written issue. This is one of the best issues of the book. It's just a standalone little, I'm down for having these between arcs. Just here's a tale from his past, and just pick a life, any life. I mean, in this case, quite a few.
Here it's the mechanism of the reborn. So are there actually countless of him at any moment?
Yeah, that was the idea, because he's being reborn across time as well as space. It's not necessarily, in sequence. So he can constantly overlap like this.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So could he fight himself? Is what I'm saying.
I don't see any reason why not.
Yeah, so that's where it gets a little bit.
I would not be surprised to see that at some point later.
The interior logic here, until it's settled, that's what got me. I was like, wait, so is he running around right now as a kid? How does that work with the rebirth?
Yeah, it's worth noting that there's always like 20 or 30 years between these jumps here, like enough that he can grow to an age where he's enlisted.
But that's yeah. So does he jump the time? Because I'm it's played out here almost like it's a quantum leap situation, whereas almost he jumped to the 30 years later. But yeah,
there is that one moment where he's like, "Where am I? What's going on?" Whereas the rest of it feels like he just kind of gets through this day. He's like, "I'm getting real deja vu."
Yeah. So again, that's my only problem with that. But I love the message of it, and that he gets there, and there's that monument, and that him and Shay enacted change over this war that had been going on for like a millennium.
Yeah, it was close to 1,000 years, I think, was the final date.
And they were the ones that ended it. And I'm still wondering how Shayera fits into this, because of the original red-haired woman and all of that.
Yeah, but here she is, kind of playing a major role. Because the final one was year 896 of this war, so a long-ass time.
So yeah, it's pretty good. This Venditti. His Flash is still the worst thing of his that I've gotten
by far.
But yeah, so give it a rating, Connor.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna go higher than you on this because I love this issue. This is my favorite kind of one shot. This is like a 9. I'm gonna go with a 0.5.
Oh wow, I'm gonna go with an 8.5. So it's still real strong. I'm loving. It's maybe one of my favorite books out at DC right now.
Yeah, every month it surprises me with how much I love it.